Hi, this is Jim Ritchie, CEO of AEONrv, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about how we build the AEONrv as we're building our first production units. I'm standing in front of an ingot silver transit cutaway chassis, and here we're building the box, and it's just about ready to go to paint, and I'll be telling you all about it. So let's look at how we build the box. As you can see, the windows are all cut, and these are CNC cut at the factory, and we've installed the doors because we actually paint the outside of the doors to match. So this is all going to get painted ingot silver. Up there you see a window, and these are the fiberglass panels. It's all been glued together with adhesives. Along the bottom here, we've already pre-painted the stainless steel wheel wells, but that will get actually overpainted with a bed liner paint. It's a Raptor liner black that will go along this line here, paint this corner piece, which is fiberglass, and then it kind of matches into the line here. You can see we're missing the gas cap because we've taken that off, and our paint shop is color matching that right now. So let's look at some of the materials that we're building out of. Very unique to AEONrv is that we're built out of fiberglass reinforced panels. Here's a 2-inch sidewall panel. It is a polyurethane foam and has an R value of R12 or R6 per inch. In this case, you can see it's got a gel-coated, finished fiberglass on each side, and that provides makes a panel that's structurally very strong, rigid, very well insulated, but very light. And these panels actually come together in a glue channel here, you'll see, and they come in here and we glue them together. We only use adhesives to build the AEONrv, and this is the adhesive that we use. It's a German polyurethane adhesive. It's Corapop, Comaling Corapop. Very great adhesive. And you'll see over here, we actually adhere the front wall to the chassis using this adhesive. There's a big banded adhesive running up and across the roof, and that dries slightly flexible and makes a really great not only seal, but when you're going off-road, it has a slight flex, which is an ideal characteristic you'd like. As we mentioned, the sidewalls are 2 inches of polyurethane foam sandwiched, and the roof is 3 1/4 inches. The back wall and the front wall are also 3 1/4 inches, and the floor is 3 1/4 inches. But some of these panels have structure designed into the panel for their specific use case. For instance, the floor panel has plywood on the top, plywood on the bottom. It has steel that's embedded inside a fiberglass pultrusion. All of this is to provide extra structure for the particular designed use case of the floor. For instance, in the steel in the floor, we tap into that to install the M10 automotive grade bolts that we use to attach the floor to the frame, in addition to using adhesive, as we mentioned. The back wall also has structure in it. You can't see it here, but it allows us to install L-track on the back, so our customers can hang gear, and we use that same L-track to install and hang the outside unit of the air conditioning. So these panels are engineered and for a particular designed use case, and are very strong, very light. If you take a quick look inside the AEONrv, this is, like I said, getting ready to go to paint. You'll see of how the box is, what it looks like before we install any of the inside components. Here at the bottom, there's aluminum pieces that are custom designed for us that are glued, that provide extra strength to the box. And on the outside, there's the similar pieces, aluminum pieces that are custom designed for us that go across the back. Here you'll see we have the cutouts for the rear tail lights. And if you look at that aluminum piece, that corner piece that we designed, you can kind of see what it looks like. Like I said, this is a custom piece we have fabbed specifically for our builds. As we mentioned earlier, we use the marine or industrial polyurethane adhesive to put all these pieces together. And then we come back at the end and we run additional beads to water seal and create a watertight bond everywhere. So you'll see along the back here, go up to the top here, we actually run additional beads all along this to create a watertight seal. And we pay special attention when sealing the roof, obviously, because that's where most of, if any leaks were ever to occur, that's what had happened. So we run an extra wide bead up there of the polyurethane adhesive after it's all glued together. So here we're showing the next Transit all-wheel drive chassis that we're going to build on, and you can see this is almost how we get it from Ford, but we've already upgraded the suspension in this particular model, added the extra tires. We're adding another leaf spring pack on here, which hasn't been done, but you see the custom Falcon shocks. We did want to mention how we actually install the box to the Transit chassis frame. We actually glue it down, and we'll show a picture of that, in addition to bolting it down with automotive grade M10 bolts through these frame holes you see here. We run glue beads down here across here, really across all the frame. And the reason we do that is, one, to provide additional strength to keeping the box on the frame, but it also provides a way for the fiberglass of the floor to not be in direct contact with the steel of the frame. And in addition, on these little pieces here, you can see we actually apply an EPDM rubber also to keep this from rubbing on the fiberglass of the underside of the floor, and it provides a little separation and just a little teeny bit of cushioning for off-road as well. Anyway, that's how it actually installs on the frame. In addition, then, I showed you earlier the glue bead. We actually run glue all over, up and down here, and it gets glued onto the back here. This obviously is a piece of plastic that's just on the back here as it comes from the factory to keep the dust out. Okay, now we're looking at the underside of the box where it's actually attached to the frame, and you can see some of the M10 automotive grade bolts we use to attach it to the frame. In addition, you can see that it's actually glued down right there, and then there's the rubber I mentioned that we put down to keep the bottom of the floor from actually directly contacting the steel. You can see another bolt here. So this creates a very strong but nicely designed box to frames connection for going off-road. One of the reasons that we actually build on the Ford Transit all-wheel drive chassis is that this frame is actually a rigid frame and doesn't flex when going off-road. So it makes a nice platform to build on. Here you see we've actually got the outside door installed because, once again, we actually have this painted to match. In this case, once again, it's going to be ingot silver. But just give you a sense of being inside here. The key thing is, look how thick the ceiling is. It's 3 1/4 inches of that same insulation. And then it's actually gel coated on the edges. And you'll see here a conduit that we've designed. That's how we run the wire across to power, in this case, the max fan. And then that wire runs across here, which we take over for the outside porch light. And you'll walk back here, you'll see the cutout for the skylight, similar conduit that allows us to run the wiring there. And you just get, a sense of what the construction looks like before it goes to paint. I hope you've enjoyed this. Really look forward to sharing more videos in the future. And thanks, Jim Ritchie, CEO of AEONrv.